Alright, everybody, it is January of 1905, and we're at $651, so I think that's good enough to add another residential block, and probably a little bit more commercial also. Actually, I must say, I probably need to put a police station right here, because it's quite a bit of a distance between that other police station, so we don't want crime to get out of whack, so let's go ahead and begin adding another residential block, but I probably will add some commercial also because we don't have very many commercial, and we have plenty of industrial. Actually, our industrial population was above our uh, residential population, which is kind of weird, but let's go ahead and add some commercial here. And all of these are low density. None of them are combining. See, here you have a 2x2, and then you have the thing about when you get 2x2s, you have a lot of ones, and we don't want very many ones. So I'm probably going to put some parks too pretty soon. I think I'm just going to do one commercial here because there's not much of a demand for. I mean, there is a demand right now, but the thing is, if I do too many commercial, it actually will really become unbalanced. Even though you would think, oh, your commercial population's way, way below, and it is. I think it's actually under 1,000, and it's way behind industrial and residential. But when your city's just starting out, you don't have hardly any demand for commercial. Oddly enough, it's mainly just demand for industry. And I am out of money. Not good. Not what I wanted. I wanted to actually build some parks, but I guess we'll have to wait till next year to even finish these roads. And then next year I'll probably also build some parks. And let's go ahead and see about our water. Need to go ahead and I don't know if that's working or not there. Yeah, I guess, well, no, it's not working, but I think if I had parks, I think it would. So I probably just need to build some. I will be putting in some parks next year. Alright, so let's go ahead and wait until, let's go ahead and fast forward through another year. So, until we get to 1906. Alright, y'all, up to 9,000 people. I'm really kind of surprised. We're still not getting much money. Of course, I enacted those two ordinances, but I'm really kind of happy. You can start a nice little train going through here. That's so cool. And but I'm really surprised it's growing so well. But I have a lot of 3x3s. This is a good 3x3, and this also did. So these became nice little apartments, and that's a really nice apartment. But I'm really surprised since it's actually should have low land value being right next to factories, but they're actually doing really well. I guess our overall layout of the city is really, really nice. People really like Karen for some reason. I'm not complaining. So let's go ahead and finish our roads here, and probably add another block of residential over here. And then we're gonna start adding our parks. Wow, here's another one coming on up. Hey, nice. I'm really pleased. 9,500. We're close to 10,000. So this is really, really going well so far. And so far I hadn't been taking my, I'm gonna put a light residential here because you can't put a park over a power line. So I might as well make some use of that land anyway. And if I do this, this will actually hide the buildings, so I can actually see a little bit better. So I'll be doing that a lot. So let's put some light commercial, so that people have like little stores, like, you know, little bitty restaurants and gas stations and stuff, you know, that they can use for their big residential zones. That's something I like to do. And then we have enough money for a few little parks, so let's put 3 parks right here. And then we're out of money already. Alright, so nice. Growing quite nicely. 9,600 people. So people like the good old town of Karen, don't they? Well, let's see how. Let's look at our graph and see how crime has changed. We upped the police coverage to 100%. So let's see how crime is doing. I bet value did go down. Yeah, value's on 188 now. It just takes a little while for it to register, I think. Crime is actually up to 32. Uh-oh. I think it's because our population's so high now. It's actually not good. Yeah, well, I think we're due for another police station. And we probably will put it in next year. Let's see what he says. Let's see what his advice is. A neighborhood watch program would take a bite out of crime. You know, we could do that instead of another police station yet. Why don't we do that and see how that helps? So let's do a neighborhood watch program. And if you do enable legalized gambling, I strongly suggest you do a neighborhood watch program. Because it does help knock out crime. So that's only $20 less a year, so that's not too bad. It's not too much at all. So let's wait a couple of months and see how that lowers crime. It was like 36 or 32, so let's see if it is lower than that. 99.20. We're having a good year, y'all. I see an abandoned building here. Uh-oh. It's not good. Don't abandon my city, please. How could you abandon Karen? How could you? Oh no, y'all abandoned too. Alright, they built this one back. They'll probably get back in that one. They'll probably change it to something else. And look at this. This is a really nice condominium. Really nice condominium. Let's check out its stats. Oh, another one too. Two right by each other. I don't even have any parks built up there. So yeah, $256,000 per acre. Really expensive. Land value. Crime is medium. Pollution is medium. Of course, it's close to a factory. And it is powered and watered. Awesome. So that is really nice. So, growing really nicely, y'all. We'll reach 10,000 people before the end of the year. We're close. We did it! Look at that. Karen is the state capital. Look at that. And I really like these funny newspaper articles. It's really one thing I don't like about this PlayStation version. I guess the only con to compared to other versions is you can't actually read these articles. Of course, y'all probably get bored if I read them all anyway, but I enjoy reading them. A lot of them are funny. But that's really the only bad thing. Like in the SNES version, although it has a lot of cons, and I think this version is superior, you actually can read the newspaper articles, and it'll say, "Oh, Karen is really growing well. It reached $10,000, and there's been funding for the City Hall, and I don't know, I really like reading all that." But Karen's ugly side: crime 10%, traffic 6, Actually, that's not too bad. Let's say what our mayor rating is. Let's say what our popularity rating is right now. 67%. We have 50 employees and 4 door stops. Gradually over time, it'll go down to 0 employees, and then we'll have 54 door stops, and that'll be how it changes, and then it'll never change after that. But yeah, growing really nicely. And let's look at our graphs window and see how crime has changed. Let's see if it has gone down. Let's see how balanced it is also. 5,490 residents. Okay, residential is above industrial. Now that's good. And commercial is commercial's still under 1,000. But believe it or not, y'all, you actually want to, at the beginning of your city, you don't want to spend too much money on commercial, because they will just be abandoned anyway. I mean, there's a much higher demand for industrial and residential. Of course, you have to have residential. And crime went down to 27, so the neighborhood watch did lower it 5%, so it's not too bad. We're still going to need to add another police station next year. We'll add a police station, and then actually we won't have much money left over after that. I would say we'd add some parks, but we won't have any money to do so. At least we did get all of our roads. Well, I'll have enough money for a few parks, but I probably better save it. Matter of fact, I could have built our city hall. Well, let's go ahead and add our police station here, because we definitely need that. Crime's getting a little bit out of control. And we don't want our citizens to feel insecure, do we? We want this to be a happy city after all. And I must say that all of these presents that you get are free, except when you get to this one, it's not free, and then this is the ultimate present. That's our ultimate goal, y'all, is to get to that. But this one right here is free. The only thing is, it's not free. You gotta buy the power lines to power it, and that's really the only thing you have to pay for. But let's put our city hall. Let's put it right here. Let's put it next to the school. It doesn't really matter. There we go. Power it. And then we still have $83. No sense in building anymore. Like I said earlier, it's good to save a little money just in case worse comes to worse. Alright, and we're probably about maxed out, I'm going to guess. We might grow just a little more. We might reach 11,000. Alright, y'all, so we reached 11,000, but then we lost a few, but that's alright. Now, one thing I failed to mention is the power plant. I think I should discuss that a little bit more. Also, I didn't talk about the oil power plant when I started quite a while ago. I bought a coal power plant, and I did discuss the hydroelectric, and I didn't really discuss the oil power plant. The oil was another option. Now, the oil power plant, oh man, we're losing a lot of people. I don't like that. The oil power plant doesn't produce near as much pollution as the coal. It still produces a lot, but not quite as much. But oil is very, very, very expensive. I mean, you say $6,600, which is $2,600 more than the coal. And not only that, but you say coal does 200 megawatts, oil does only 220 megawatts. I mean, just a little bit more. So you're paying $2,600 more for 20 megawatts extra. So Although it is a little less pollution, I don't suggest you use oil because it has a lot more cost per megawatt. And besides, you can always enact the pollution ordinance anyway and kind of overcome the high pollution. And over the years, there will be many more better options for power plants, and then we'll get rid of our coal power plants altogether. Now, another thing I didn't mention regarding the power plants, they after 50 years they had to be replaced, and this power plant will explode, and I'll have to replace it. So I'll have to have $4,000 to replace it. So that is a bad thing. Hurricane warning. And disasters are enabled, so it's possible we'll have it. But hopefully it won't destroy anything expensive. I'm going to go ahead and put some parks here. Matter of fact, let's change our view. I'm going to ignore that hurricane warning. It may be a bad idea, but that's what I get for being named Sky Hurricane 89. Yeah, the hurricanes are pretty bad, but I must say, take my advice and do not build your power plant near the coast. If you don't build it near the coast, you should be fine. It still could be destroyed anyway, but you really lower the risk of it getting destroyed. However, if it does get destroyed in a hurricane or tornado or anything, how much money did I got? 284. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and finish parking this section. But if it does get destroyed, really, all your people will leave because they don't have power, and so really you are forced to take out a bond. That's really all you can do, is take out a bond. And bonds are really bad, especially if you have 6 or 8%, because you'll be paying $600 or $800 every month until you save up $10,000 all at once and pay it back. And it's really hard to save up it's really hard to save up $10,000 when you're paying $600 a year. You really have to build your population up a lot, which will take a long time. And so really bonds are horrible. And unless we just really get in a dire situation, I don't plan on taking out a bond. So, another waiting session. Looks like this one's going to come up. Should be something nice to look at soon. So yeah, people are coming and going, but really it will fluctuate. As long as it fluctuates within 1,500 to 2,000 people, it's not too bad. Now, when it's fluctuating, when it goes from 7,000 to 10,000 to 6,000, that means your city's really unbalanced, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Another thing I have to look out for is once I get up to about 14,000 people, I'm going to have to start saving up for another power plant. Or I could just keep building hydroelectric. Of course, I don't have much room for more hydroelectric. I have to build them on this little section here. And I may just do that to show off hydroelectric. But hydroelectric really do not provide much power at all. I mean, they really do not. Even though it says 20 megawatts, that is their max. And actually, even though it should only take 10 for one co, it seems like you end up doing like 20 for one co. So it really seems like they only do like 10. I don't know. Some of the previous cities that I built, I've really had to build up tons of hydroelectric. And a lot more than I would have to build coal. But let's go ahead and build a little bit more here. Let's go ahead and build a little bit more. Let's add some new sections. And probably gonna build near this police station here.